Okay, so I rewatched a few of my videos, and I'm like, oh Lord, I need to remake some of them because they're terrible. I know a lot of people like them, thank you, but I guess seeing yourself on videos is like, oh my God, what am I talking about? I have ADD, so unfortunately there are times where my brain just stops and wanders, and I try and catch up real quick, and I can't remember what I was talking about, even though I really try. But anyway, excuse me if I'm all over the place a bit. There are some days where I'm more focused than others, and I was pretty focused earlier, but I'm starting to wandering off today. So I'm going to try and do this video. I am redoing the video on Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Before I get into any of my stories, which I just lost myself in a previous video, I want to give a few facts. Hashimoto's thyroiditis is an autoimmune of the thyroid. There is also Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune of the thyroid. Graves' disease, you swing high, and you are constantly high. Hashimoto's is like a roller coaster. You swing up and down constantly, regardless on medication or not. I can be on medication, which I am, and swing on and off. I can get my blood test today, which I did, and then in 6 weeks I can feel bad, have them run it again, and guess what? I'm out of whack again. So it can swing on a dime. It could be gradual, or it can just change. So that is one thing. Another thing is, a lot of people are mixed up on TSH. TSH is the thyroid hormone that is throughout your body. When you have excess amounts of TSH, you have high TSH. If you do not have the hormone, of course, you have low TSH. Most people think if you have high TSH, you're hyperactive. And if you have low, you're low. You're a hypo. It's backwards. If you have high TSH, your body and your brain is trying to tell your body, hey, work. You need to work. So it floods your body with TSH trying to get your thyroid to work. So you have so much TSH in your body because you're underactive. High TSH means you are hypothyroid. Now, if you have barely any, that means you are hyperactive. That means your brain is like, you're doing just fine. You don't need no hormones. You are working perfectly. So if you have high TSH, you have hypothyroid. If you have low TSH, you have hyper. So it's backwards. And I know a lot of people get that confused because it's easily to get confused because you think high, high, low, low. But that's what it is. So if you just make sure that, I don't know, because a lot of people, I mean, they do get that backwards. So, and I just want to specify because I see so many people on Instagram and on my fan page and just random conversations on other people's page about that. And I've explained to a few people, and one lady on Instagram was like, thank you so much for taking the time to explain it to me. No one ever has. And I was like, wow, all I did was just explain it in like one sentence. And she said that she never got that from any of her doctors. So I just want to throw that in there. But again, if I jump around a little bit, I do apologize. Having ADD, that is just part of my personality, so sorry. But another big thing is advocate for yourself. Please advocate for yourself because guess what? No one else will. If you get a doctor that does not listen to you, if you get a doctor that, dismisses you, if you get a doctor that says, oh, your TSH is high, I'm going to take you off your medicine. If you get a doctor that only runs a TSH test, walk out the door. There are plenty others. And guess what? You are paying for his services. So you're the boss, not him. And if he doesn't agree, guess what? You can find somebody else. And if it takes 5 or 6 doctors to get that one who listens, walk out the door and find him or her. And I'm going to say something that I know a lot of people are not going to agree with, and that's okay. It's just from my experience. I don't like to see older doctors for my Hashimoto's. And it's only because my doctor, first of all, for 2 years didn't even tell me I had Hashimoto's. He just told me I had thyroid disease, take this pill, cool, we're done. And he kind of criticized me on my weight because at the time I was over 330 pounds. I forgot exactly when I saw him. And anyway, so he didn't listen. And I was trying to explain, like, hey, I'm trying. I think I lost a few pounds, 4 pounds at the time, but he pretty much just insulted me and told me to just take this pill. And if you have a doctor that your weight fluctuates up and down with, and, you know, he knows that you have Hashimotos, and he is an endocrinologist, walk away, because being an endocrinologist, he should have a better understanding that your hormones play a major role in your weight. Now, if you just sit around eating cheeseburgers all day, I mean, there's really no excuse. I mean, I was there. I blamed all my thyroids way back in the day. And it wasn't my thyroids. It was me and my, you know, cheeseburgers and, you know, fried chicken and all that. So, I mean, it's not here, take a pill and you can eat what you want, because it's not magic. But a lot of people are very ignorant to thyroid disease. And I'll get into that in a minute, because I have a feeling I might get off track. Now, another very, very crucial thing. If your doctor only does a TSH test, walk out the door. If you think you have thyroid disease, if you've been diagnosed with thyroid disease, having a TSH test is going to do nothing. I have Hashimotos thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disease of the thyroid. I can be level. Like, the last time I went to my doctor, I was level. Everything except for my RT3 was level. You know, but if he adjusted that, then it could have threw me out of whack. So we just left it alone. But TSH does not determine anything. I can go in, do a TSH test for this new endocrinologist, and he'll tell me, oh, you don't even have thyroid disease. Why are you here? I have an autoimmune disease. TSH is worthless. I even had one time where my doctor ran the test, but I guess somebody didn't word it right or what. I don't know what happened, but this was a different one. But she got mad, and she was like, they just did a TSH test. She has an autoimmune, and she threw it on the counter, and she's like, I'm sorry, we got to redo it. And she was mad because I had to redo my labs because somebody didn't do the test right. The importance of not just doing the TSH. Again, right now, if I go to the doctor and they do a TSH, I can be level. You don't have anything. You're fine. You don't have a thyroid disease at all. Wrong. Autoimmune. TSH just checks for TSH. All it does is check for that hormone. That's all it does. That is all it does. Now, you need to get a full thyroid panel. What a full thyroid panel does, it checks for everything. It checks for TSH, RT3, RT4, T4, T3, your antibodies. It checks for everything. Because guess what? If you have the antibodies, I have both of them, so I got tagged. I have Hashimoto's. So while my TSH can be level, that doesn't mean it magically goes away. Because God knows I wish it would. And it's not autoimmune, which means you're stuck with it for life. Unfortunately, it's a lifetime thing. Just like any autoimmune. Any autoimmune is life. It is for life. You're stuck with it. So I hate to break it to you, but there is no magic cure, no magic pill, no magic diet. There's no magic anything that will cure an autoimmune ever. 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 And I was even at Walmart earlier, you know, and I just happened to look over. I was waiting in line, and on the front of the cover, I forget which one it was the blue one, and it said, the thyroid cure. Guarantee it was a diet in there that somehow is going to magically cure an autoimmune, because obviously a diet can cure every autoimmune, you know, lupus, celiac, type 1 diabetes. It can be cured with a diet. Didn't you know that? Makes me want to just slap people. And if people really say that, well, I don't want to promote violence at all. I'll just leave it at that. But you have to have a full panel. And again, if your doctor won't do it, fire him. You're the boss. Advocate for yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. And if a doctor is not someone you feel comfortable with, fire him or her. And like I said, I prefer the younger ones, but only because they seem to be more educated on it. They seem to know more of the newer facts, because a lot of the older doctors, they've done this for so many years that they're stuck in, well, I know what I'm doing. I've done this for 30 years. But when you have a newer doctor who's like, wait a minute, these are the new findings that have been scientifically proven. You know, we're understanding more of what the thyroid can do. Wow, the thyroid, you know, blah, 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 all the hormones. Well, guess what? All the hormones are in every single cell of your body. every cell of your body. So how does it just affect this? I mean, and actually, you know, it's not your thyroid that's the problem. I didn't know that for a long time. I thought it was a thyroid problem. No, it's my body doesn't like my thyroid, so it's going to kill it. That's what it is. It's not your thyroid that's the problem. Your body seeks out that hormone, and it attacks it to kill it. So when you have Hashimoto's, it is your body killing your thyroid. And every time it sputters, it tries to fix itself and try and lives, and so you'll swing. So that's why we swing. Because your body is killing your thyroid, but your thyroid is trying to fight back and live, and it's a war. And it's a war within your body. So anybody who says it's a fat person's excuse to be fat, I got a recommendation. Let's switch thyroids. Let's switch this, and we'll switch everything. And I guarantee you, your diet, you eating healthy, you're going to gain weight. You can go to the gym. Yes, you can. You can eat a salad every day. Yes, you can. But will you gain weight? Yes, you will. Why? Because your hormones. It's just like estrogen. You know, that plays into it. And then with thyroid disease, you have to be careful of the soy. Soy has estrogen. Estrogen is a hormone. Estrogen can mess with your thyroids. Any hormone can fluctuate it. And people who think, oh, it's just a fat person's excuse to be fat. If I'm sitting around eating cheeseburgers, yes, it's my fault. And I can go, oh, I have a thyroid disease. And I get that. I've done that. I did that for so long. But it infuriates me now that there's so much more evidence and so much more research and proof that this thyroid, you know, it does so much damage. It messes with your eyes. It gives you ADD. You know, it affects so many issues in your body. It's not just a fat person's excuse, because trust me, I can sit next to somebody who's skinny, and I do it all the time, who eats 3 times as much as I do. And guess what? I'm the heavy one. And again, if you see me sitting, you know, next to somebody skinny, knowing that I eat, well, you don't know, that I eat healthy, that I don't eat fast food, because guess what? I'm wheat free. I can't eat most fast food anyway. I don't drink sodas, you know, so I have to cook at home. But then you can see somebody next to me who's skinny, who eats junk food and all this, but you're going to assume that they're healthier than me. All because of this, I'm a little heavier. So people just are mean and judging, but you know, they're idiots. And I pray that they never have an autoimmune, because the thing with autoimmunes, they like a buddy. You get one, they like to have others come over, because right now they're going to test me for RA. So, and then, you know, I'm on the verge of being, you know, diagnosed with EOE. He just hasn't officially done it. So, you know, that's the thing. And I know somebody with, you know, lupus, you know, and we mimic a lot of the same symptoms. And, you know, you can have somebody with, you know, they have a symptom, I have a symptom, and I'm going to repeat this because I'm not sure if it was in the first video or not, because my dog started barking and I just completely lost my track of thought. And since I've already done a video, I can't remember if I've already said it in this one or the other one. So if I repeat myself, I am sorry. But with an autoimmune, I can have a group of 10 people that have the same autoimmune as me. Will we have the same symptoms? No. A few maybe. I have the same symptoms as my 2 friends who have lupus. And one of them kept telling me to get tested. So I actually did, and I'm negative for lupus. You can have somebody who has MS, which I know somebody, and guess what? We have a few of the same symptoms. You know, my sister is a type 1 diabetic, and for years I kept telling her, Audrey, we have a lot of the same symptoms. Sure enough, she now has, you know, Hashimoto's. So it's just, when you have one, you can have another. So that's a bad thing, but they don't mimic each other. They don't have the same. I know somebody who has Hashimoto's, and she actually had issues with her jaw. My older sister has issues with her jaw. Me, I have issues with joints everywhere. So my issues really started with the tumors that I had that triggered a thyroid storm. And once you go through, you go from having, you know, not many symptoms to going severe and almost dying. Your body doesn't go back to normal. So unfortunately, I still have a lot of scars, which are my battle scars, so I don't care, except for my leg. I wish that would heal, you know, because I have pretibial myedema on my leg, which you should only have if you have Graves. So that's how bad Hashimoto's can get. That's how bad your thyroid can get. It can kill you. And like I said, it don't just kill you, make everything agonizing and painful, and, you know, it has a lot of symptoms that don't make sense, like the pretibial myedema on my leg. I have a big purple not purple, it's red and pink, and it gets brown sometimes, I guess, whatever it does, where it just is wrapped around almost all my leg, on my calf. So different symptoms for different people. You may have the same thing, not the same symptoms. Now, a lot of people, it will affect your eyes. So before I forget, get your eyes checked. And if you start to swing, get your eyes checked again. I've had to get mine checked 3 times in a year. And it went down. The first time was when I was really getting kind of crazy. It went down a point. A whole point within like 3 months. And then it went down a half of a point. And right now I've been pretty stable, 0.25, 0.25. But it will swing. So it affects your eyesight a lot. So, and even if you get LASIK, guess what? It will still slowly go back down. But it's like a restart, isn't it? So I would like to get LASIK. But, you know, just because you have somebody like, oh, my sister has that. She doesn't have any of these issues. You're just exaggerating. You're making it up. Oh, my cousin's brother or sister has this, and they just ate this lettuce salad, you know, and drank this miracle, you know, chai tea, and, you know, they're fine. It almost killed me. I spent 3 years almost dying, and it only got worse. And I actually have a video on a lot of that. And so don't you tell me that I'm just fat for that, because it's not true. Because trust me, like I said, you eat what I eat every day, and I guarantee you're going to be hungry, because I don't eat a whole lot. And I can't hide it. I mean, I have people I see every day, and you see me every meal. And when I go on vacation during summer for, you know, 2 and 3 weeks at a time, it's not like I'm, you know, faking it because I'd be hungry. So it does play a big role in it. And I always say that your thyroid is the engine to your car. You can put the best gas in it. You can get the brand new tires and some shiny rims. You can get a nice paint job. But guess what? If your engine doesn't run, your car is sitting there. It may look pretty, but it's just going to sit there, isn't it? So it does make weight loss very difficult. And my weight will fluctuate 30 to 50 pounds within a matter of 3 months. And I still think there's something more going on, but I keep being told it's just my thyroids. But I will lose weight. I can lose 70 pounds, you know, and then hit a certain point where my body just rejects it. And I instantly will gain weight. And I gained 50 pounds in 3 months. Now, unless I'm sitting around eating a bucket of lard, I mean, I don't eat enough calories to gain 50 pounds of fat in 3 months. So obviously there's more than just a bucket of chicken. So, you know, a lot of people really are mean. And I mean, every time somebody's mean about it, it's just, they just screams ignorance, ignorance, ignorance. It's just ignorance coming out of your mouth. And the more you try and can, you know, get me to believe that it's just, you know, me being lazy, the louder the ignorance is. And it's just, really, educate yourself. So there's so many issues that your body has with your hormones. And one other thing is, a lot of people are going gluten-free when they have a Hashimoto's, and I'll explain why. Okay. Hashimoto's, again, are tied to different autoimmunes. Autoimmunes like to buddy up to each other. So you get one, guaranteed eventually you're going to get another one. And so right now I've got Hashimoto's, possibility of EOE, but also the possibility of RA. So they like to buddy up. But gluten is very similar to the thyroid hormone, which your body attacks. So when you eat gluten, your body sees it as thyroid hormone, which is an invader, which is an enemy, which you need to die. So guess what? It will try and kill it. So guess what is killing? Your body. So that is why a lot of people go gluten-free. Some people are gluten-free because of celiac disease. And if you do not realize celiac disease is an autoimmune disease, I feel really bad for you. And please do not insult them, people, because celiac disease, it can be debilitating. And I feel terrible for anybody who has it. I do not. I've been tested quite a few times, and I do not have it. I do have a wheat allergy. Hashimoto's is tied into celiac very closely, as well as a wheat allergy. Celiac is just, it is terrible. I mean, some people, again, have it worse than others, and I really feel bad. Me just having a wheat allergy is more eczema. Eczema is also tied into Hashimoto's. Who knew, right? So Hashimoto's can cause eczema. Not some, well, it kind of can because it caused the wheat allergy. Now, when you have a food allergy, a lot of times when you're an adult, when you get it, well, when you get an allergy as an adult, you're never going to get rid of it. As a child, you can sometimes grow out of it depending. When you eat something that your body's allergic to, not severely like celiac, but when you eat something, your last resort is your skin to flare up. So guess what happens? I have eczema only on my hands. And it all started around the same time of the tumors. So all of this coincided. So now I know what it is. So if I eat a piece of bread or a muffin or a cookie, my hands are going to start itching within the first 20 minutes, and then they're going to burn. And they burn. And then guess what? It's going to feel like somebody's getting paper and just slicing your fingers. And so you feel like random paper cuts along with a chemical burn for weeks. And they bleed terribly. But I'm just making that up, right? It's all in my head. But anyway, so that's why a lot of people go gluten-free. Now, it does make me frustrated when you have people who fake it for a fad. You know, oh, I'm gluten-free. I want to slap you, but I also want to hug you. And I want to hug you for one reason. Your fakeness and being a fad makes it so much easier for so many of us who actually have a real issue, because you have made a lot of companies go gluten-free. So I want to slap you because I actually have a real food allergy, and you're faking it to look cool and, you know, whatever, or for diet. But I also want to give you the biggest hug because, you know, it's so many people doing that actually made it popular and made companies step up and start making a lot of gluten-free. Now, it struggles, you know, because most fast food don't have anything gluten-free. You know, if you have celiac, it's a lot worse. Like me, I can handle trace amounts, and especially gluten. I mean, I'm not supposed to eat it because of my Hashimotos, and then of course, anything gluten-free is automatically wheat-free. Now, anything wheat-free is not automatically gluten-free. So that's another tip for you. Gluten-free equals wheat-free. Wheat-free does not mean gluten-free, because gluten is a chemical glue. So there's a difference. But, you know, I can't just go out to eat with my friends and, you know, we get catered food at work and I'm just sitting there looking sad and, you know, eating mine. Cupcakes, can't eat them. Birthday cake, yay. My niece's birthday, her sweet 16. I can't have no cake. I can't go get an ice cream cone because of the cone. I can get a cup though. I can't eat cookies and cream ice cream. Can't. You know, most gluten-free stuff, I mean, the bread falls apart. Luckily, I found a place near me that is so fantastic. They actually not donate, but they actually give their product to some restaurants. So I can actually go to certain places, but most places are not gluten-free. And the more severe your allergy is, you can eat there and sometimes you can't. I can always feel when I get a trace amount to where it's going to make me feel like a chemical burn on my hands, and it may itch a while, but they might not bleed depending on how much I got. So, and sometimes you don't know, like soy sauce. It's not gluten-free, it's not wheat-free, and, you know, it can cause a reaction. So, my big thing is advocate for yourself, find a good doctor. There's so much that I can tell you about autoimmunes and all that, and I realize this video is getting pretty long, but if people give you crap and just, you know, insult you, and you know you're working your hardest to lose weight, and you know you're trying, I know it's frustrating. Trust me, my body does not like to lose weight. It will just instantly gain, and right now I'm kind of losing, but I'm still far from, one, my very lowest, and two, you know, whenever I get down, you know, so whatever. So all I can do is try my best and just grin and bear it, because it is very frustrating, and I'm not the type to just throw my hands up and quit. And lately, with a bunch of my medical issues, unfortunately, the gym has been put on a back burner because of the asthma. And I made another video about an hour ago about that. So, you know, it's kind of hard to work out when you can't breathe. So, you know, especially when I didn't know what was going on. But anyway, just wanted to explain a little bit more, and I'm really worried if I'm going to look back at this video and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm jumping all around again. But I just want to try and educate people, because there are so many things that go along with having an autoimmune. Like I said, one leads to another. It's different symptoms. And, well, my cousin's cousin, brother, aunt doesn't have the, what, oh, well, they got cured with just drinking this fish oil, no. Because, again, you would not say to somebody with, type 1 diabetes, which sadly some people would, but with lupus, oh, just eat this, this salad. Oh, well, here's this, fruit. It's magic. Well, if you don't eat that walnut, I'm sorry, I like peaches. I like strawberries. I like kale. And I've tried to do that whole thyroid diet where you try not to eat things that could possibly flare you up. It doesn't do much for me. I mean, maybe it is for you, but it doesn't for me. And also, if somebody has an autoimmune, and they're on medication and they're still dealing with issues, I might want to give you permission to slap the crap out of them if they say, well, you're taking a pill, you should be fine. I wish that was the case. I so wish, because guess what? Taking a pill, it may keep my hormones in check, but it doesn't keep my body in check. And if it did, then I wouldn't swing ever. But I do, and I would not be able to have the joint pain that I do and the flares that I do. And some days just walking, even though I put a smile on my face, is agony. And, we just need people to relate to us and understand us. And even if you can't understand us, because God forbid you feel what I feel every day, you step in this body and you're going to probably go to the ER. But, but me, I'm faking it. But you'll probably go to the ER if you go like, oh my God, and this is a good day. So you don't know what they're talking about. And that's why, like I said, I know quite a few people with autoimmunes. One person has 2, one person has MS. I have 2 with lupus. I have another with Hashimotos, and all of our symptoms kind of relate, and we all kind of join together, because the only people that really, truly, truly, truly understand somebody with a chronic illness is somebody else with one, because you understand that I may look okay, but I'm dying on the inside. I may sleep for 12 hours, which I don't, but I will still feel like I slept 2. So there's so much going on in my body, and there's sometimes where I'm scared because my heart beats, or I didn't know what was going on, and my hands are bleeding, and my body hurts, and my jaw will hurt, then my face gets puffy, because guess what? It's called a moon face. When you have a puffy face, you have hypothyroidism. So this puffy face, a lot of times, is a sign of having Hashimotos. And there are some times where my face gets really puffy, and there are some times where it doesn't. But yeah, when you have a really round face, it's, a symptom of it. Dry skin. Trust me, when I get out the bed in the morning, I got there's so much skin, it looks like somebody had a flower party. And it's embarrassing. But, there's just so many symptoms that comes along with autoimmunes. And the last thing you want is somebody saying you're making it up, and you just need to take this pill, or you should be fine. And I don't understand what you're talking about. Well, God forbid you ever do. So anyway, I really do hope that I did not babble. I guarantee you I did. And that I hope I stayed somewhat on track, because I know I went off a few times. But I just wanted to kind of clarify a little bit more. And, I understand whether you have MS, if you have lupus, if you have, type 1 diabetes. I have chronic pain, fibromyalgia, RA. I understand. So when you tell me you hurt, I believe you, and I understand you. God knows I do. So if you don't feel like you have anybody else to talk to, try and find somebody else who shares a lot of your symptoms or your illness, or even another autoimmune, because they're the people who are more likely to relate, because they also know what it feels like to be judged and to be yelled at and be, just not heard. And you may feel like crap, and nobody hears you, and it's very, very lonely. And one more thing before I forget, depression. Hashimoto's is very, very common to have depression. Very common. Because guess what? It affects your brain, affects the way your body does oxygen, brain fog, depression, so much going on. But just hopefully you find a good doctor. God forbid, please find a good doctor, and find a support group. I really don't have much of one, but I'm grateful for the ones that I do have, and I really hope that me sharing my story and you know, being open with everything I'm dealing with and babbling on and putting myself out there, you know, for people who just don't understand and will click dislike. Oh, she's an idiot. You know, oh, she's just making excuses. I get people do that. But I'm saying that I hear you. I'm not just listening. I hear you. I understand. And if you need someone, let me know. And, you know, like I have another video. Sometimes YouTube does not let me reply to comments, but I always will get them. And if you really need, you know, someone to speak to, I can give you my Facebook page. I can reply to those. It is actually, I'll give it to you now. It is Kathi's Weight Loss Journey on Facebook. It is KATHI Weight Loss Journey. I'm on Facebook. So if you really need someone to talk to, which I do get so many people, and I'm so glad to be there. You know, just hit me up on there. I always reply there. It's easy to reply there. I can do it from my phone. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I hope that it educated some people. If anything, hopefully you got a laugh out of it, you know, because, you know, my mind likes to wander around. But anyway, so I'm just putting myself out there in hopes to help someone else. So hope you enjoy it.